A Pakistani woman suspected of high-level ties to al-Qaeda is now behind bars, accused of trying to kill U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. And federal prosecutors say she might have been involved in a terror plot targeting U.S. landmarks. According to reports, Afia Siddiqui was found with documents on how to make chemical weapons during a search last month, as well as a list of potential targets, things like the Statue of Liberty, Times Square, and the New York City subway system. With us now, Scott Weber, former senior counselor to Homeland Security Chief Michael Chertoff. How serious was the threat here, Scott?
Well, there were two threats. Obviously, the threat to the military personnel and FBI agents who Dr. Siddiqui pointed an M4 at and shot in the Ghazni province of Afghanistan, as well as the information that they found on her, which related to landmarks, icons in the United States, as well as the subway system and apparently some U.S. military assets. So this was pretty serious, John.
But are those actual threats? I mean, are we talking about operational plans to go after these things, or might she argue that she was just going to be a tourist again, even though she's lived in this country before, and she wanted to visit the sights of New York City?
Well, John, you have to go back and put into context Dr. Siddiqui's history with the United States. You know, she was educated at MIT, received a doctorate from Brandeis, and then literally under the dark of night disappeared. When Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was captured in 2003, she was a number of individuals that he identified as a facilitator for al-Qaeda, and she has ties to CARE International, which was a Muslim-based foundation in Boston whose leaders were indicted and charged and convicted by the federal government for supporting terrorism. So this is not a woman who just happens to have some pictures of the Statue of Liberty. She also had information about CBRNE, chemical, bio, radiological, nuclear, and explosive weapons information. So you connect those dots together, and this is clearly a woman who had ill intent in mind.
She has been on the FBI's list out of Boston, on the most wanted list for quite some time now. The fact that authorities have her in custody must be pretty heartening.
Absolutely. And she was identified actually in 2004 by both then Attorney General Ashcroft and Director Mueller of the FBI as an individual who was an operative here in the United States, or believed to be an operative here in the United States. So you know, the accounts of this frail, innocent woman really fly in the face of logic when you take a look at the long history and apparent involvement she's had with al-Qaeda.
Well, I know Homeland Security has been expressing the fear that because the United States has gotten pretty good at cracking down on some of the more obvious terrorism suspects, you know, men between the ages of, say, 18 and 45 or so, that al-Qaeda is looking for less obvious people to do with some of its dirty work.
Correct, and not only al-Qaeda, but other terrorist organizations. We have an increased frequency in female suicide bombers. You know, you have a situation where they're looking for individuals who were born not in the Middle East, but in the West or in Europe, who they can bring into their cause. So traditionally, you would not suspect a woman who weighs 95 pounds as somebody who would be, you know, wanting to and able to commit, you know, atrocious acts and massive harm in the United States. But it appears that this woman fits the bill.
All right, Scott Weber, former senior counselor to Homeland Security Chief Michael Chertoff. Thank you.
Thank you, John.